Yeah. Hey, everyone. This is Deli. I'm the co-founder of Automata Network. Thanks for the invitation from Zero Knowledge Validator, and thanks for having me here. So we are based in Singapore, and we have been active in Polkadot ecosystem since 2020, and we are using Substrate to decentralize our protocol in order to provide privacy services as middlewares to projects from many different chains. So before I start the talk, my presentation, let's start with some real-world issues. So everyone uses crypto for all sorts of things, including voting, swapping, lending, but all these activities are exposed as a price of using public blockchain. Or if you can find a better term, it's called transparency. However, the traceability make it even worse. Whenever you interact with other addresses through transactions, the links will be created and everyone will know the association, including the entire history of activities behind those addresses. So sometimes people post wallet addresses on Twitter to ask for airdrop or testing tokens. In that case, you should not really use it for other purpose anymore. But if you're not careful enough and accidentally use the exposed address, your on-chain activity now gets linked to your real-world identity, and you might be tracked forever. Although there are various ways to avoid this, this is something most of us must live with it now. And next thing is MEV, which is minor extractable value. And according to the dashboard from Flashbot, so at the moment in total, hundreds of millions have been extracted in the past. But today I will only talk about the information leakage behind it. So why does MEV happen? So there's a clear mismatch between user expectation and the reality. So when users trade on DEX, they believe that the system should not review its trading actions before the transaction gets executed, but that's not the case in reality. So on current public blockchain, the information gets leaked in two places, mempool and miner. So the public mempool allows anyone in the world to see your unconfirmed transaction. And people are trying to fix this by including a private mempool. But that brings another set of trust issues on the miners. Remember that miners have that superpower to read the incoming transactions and launch more powerful attacks, such as reordering transactions. And remember this? This was a classic lie when a US senator asked Zuckerberg that, how's that Facebook is free? I guess we know the answer because it's not free and we are actually the product of it. And the same thing happens for blockchain. Many people will think of API services as free lunch, but nothing is truly free. So every day, users and developers send billions of API calls to all kinds of API services, and they are either hosted by third parties or backed by unknown nodes. And what happens behind the scenes is those API services or API gateways will get first-hand information of all the incoming queries. And you never know if they will collect the queries and learn from it to get information, such as what is the most popular trading pair, what is the best trading strategy, and if you are there to think whether there's any MEV opportunity. So the truth is, as we are using these free services, they are also taking something from us. So as a team of many years of experience in industry and research, we're really trying to solve these issues in a practical way. So Automata Network is a decentralized service protocol that provides middleware-like traceless price services for dApps on Ethereum and Polkadot and many other chains to achieve privacy, high assurance, and frictionless computation. So our team has had many years of experience in blockchain industry and have done many research in the area of Intel SGX, ORAM, and peer-to-peer systems. We also completed a Web3 grant and also selected into Web3 bootcamp last year. And recently we got into Berkeley Blockchain Accelerator. So here's our approach. So ORAM is an algorithm used to conceal the access patterns that can be used as a side channel to break the privacy of the applications. Even the application is running inside a secure black box like in Intel SGX. And it's an algorithm that has been studied for decades and is proven to be secure and correct to prevent this kind of access pattern leakage. And with this, we built Yield, the computation node in our system, to provide most practical privacy solutions for general computations. That means we can do, for example, tamper-proof data sourcing for oracles, front-running prevention for DEXs, anonymous voting for DAO, and do not track indexing for different indexing services. And also, developers can also build customized middleware services to enhance the security and privacy of their own applications. And also here's a detailed breakdown of a single geode. Intel SGX help us to create an isolated execution region called enclave, which will prevent anyone from accessing the data inside. So that also means even the node operator will not be able to see the data inside enclave. And it turns the enclave into a trusted agent where user can just simply trust. With the help of a so-called remote attestation process, user can extend the trust from its local device into a remote device hosted by other people. And the communication between user and enclave is protected by industry standard end-to-end security practices. And when the enclave needs to access some encrypted data outside, the ORAN module comes into the play. It turns a bunch of read or write operations into something appears completely random, which will no longer make sense to the malicious observer running outside. And this would assume the user that this would assure the user that the computation and storage operations done by the geode is safe and no privacy is leaked. So to recap a bit, this is our approach on building the privacy services. So all the services can be integrated with existing dApps in a non-intrusive manner. That means the app can just use it without, with just near zero modifications. And we are also building various services to enhance the privacy for all sorts of applications. And the most important part is the service will have great compatibility as it's not built only for a particular chain. It's basically a chain agnostic service platform. Okay, and before I go, this is the last thing I would like to share. So I guess nobody thought good government matters until we have Donald Trump. And we also think this matters to the blockchain world. So we just launched Witness, an off-chain governance solution with privacy features. It allows voters to participate in the governance without revealing their identity. This is how it works. So users just choose a proposal and send the side vote to Witness. And Witness will just count the vote and then publish only the information that should be published. So it will not include the information such as voters' identity or number of votes they casted. And it currently supports Ethereum and Binance Smart Chain. And we will be adding more platform support as we develop it, such as substrate-based chains. And also there's a chain hook feature that's available for preview on the Kovan testnet and BSC testnet. It basically allows the proposal author to register a function to be triggered on chain once voting is done. So to summarize, we are heading towards a practical way to realize Web3 with high assurance, traceless privacy, and frictionless computation. And that's all I have to share. Thanks again for having me here. If you want to know more about us, just go follow us on Twitter or Medium. And we are actually also actively looking for web developers and substrate developers. Just drop us a message if you are interested.